Hi guys, Lady Liberty Stacker here. It is Sunday, August 25th, 2019, and I just finished a video showing how I seasoned for the fourth time my cast iron waffle maker, favorite Piqua ware number 8, and my Wagner ware number 8 that I stripped, took 2 to 3 weeks to strip. And somehow, when I was editing it, the files got corrupted and I wasn't able to open it. So I had no choice but to scrap the whole thing. I'm not going to do it again to show you, but I thought I would at least explain to you how I season it, because watching it, it was a 23-minute video. So the video was kind of long, but this is what the waffle maker actually looks like with 4 coats of seasoning on it. I did originally strip it with a combination of a lye bath and a vinegar soak. Took the wooden handles off. One snapped off and the other one was removed from soaking in lye. It just kind of disintegrated it, and I plied it out of there and stripped it down really good. And then I went ahead and put 4 coats of seasoning on it, and now it's going to be a fabulous waffle maker for me. I could sell it on eBay. I think I could probably get 150 to 160 for this. No problems. Totally restored. It's in excellent condition, even without the handles. There was one that sold for about that without the handles, but I like this. I may sell it someday if I find another waffle maker that I can do, but they're kind of rare. You don't find them every day, and I had been looking for a waffle maker like this probably for a good year and a half, and then I finally just gave up hope because I couldn't find anything. And I stumbled upon this in Erie, PA when we were going through the area. And then this, if you watched my last video, was just the first coat of seasoning on it. This is a Wagner ware, Sydney O, model 1058O. And it had a lot of built-up carbon on it. Still has a little bit extra on the sides, but you really can't see them. But I think what happened on this skillet here, people just seasoned over rust, and there was layers of rust and carbon and rust and carbon. And not until I got into stripping the skillet did I discover that. But I didn't want to give up on it, and so I just kept working away. And this is the cooking surface. And now it's just like a chocolatey brown, and it's nice and dry by the way I season. So I'm going to tell you how I season. Well, you can look at these fine pieces of cast iron cookware, and there is the number 8 there. And at any rate, this one's nice just because it's not a spinner. You push the handle, and it just sits flat in the counter. There is a little bit of a wobble, but that's no big deal. It will cook fantastic. So at any rate, that's the Wagner number 8. I'll go ahead and put it back like that so you can see the back. And I'll tell you how I season these. I put them in the oven, and I put the oven temperature at 200 degrees. Once the oven temperature reaches 200 degrees, I set the timer for 15 minutes and let these guys warm up. And that's without, actual seasoning on them unless I've given them a coat before. So they're in there warming up. When the timer goes off, I take them out, and then I go ahead and apply my seasoning. I use Crisco, and then I actually melt down a little bit more Crisco in a bowl and apply it to the waffle iron. I'll go ahead and take it out so you guys can actually see what this looks like. Actually, not a bad job, huh, guys? That's what this looks like with 4 coats of seasoning. But what you do is you coat, you melt a little bit of Crisco in a bowl, and I take a pastry brush like so. It was actually in coarse salt here because the salt will actually draw the oil out of the pastry brush so you can use it again. Now I'm going to pause this and shake off the salt and kind of show you what I do to season this. So you basically melt the Crisco, and you basically just apply it like so with your pastry brush, and just go between the aisles, between these posts, whatever you want to call them, in the waffle panels of the paddle, just like this. So you you just melt a little bit, apply a little bit, like so, and then when you're done, you just basically take a Q-tip and wipe it off. Just like so. And it takes a while. I was showing you guys actually how I did that. So you wipe it all off. You coat every nook and cranny of this. Most of it you can do with the rag, other than, you know, the spots around these, you know, I don't know what you call them, blocks, whatever you want to call them. And then you wipe it off with the Q-tips, and you want to grab a handful of them, and also you wipe it off with the shop vac towels. And in my video, I basically explain I get mine at Walmart. They're Scott shop vac towels. They don't have any lint, and they are much better than the ones that are available at Home Depot. Home Depot has a different brand. I can't remember which they were, but I tried them and I did not like them. So that's how you do it. You put on a layer of seasoning on the bottom, or, you know, the cooking surface, and on this, and you'll wipe it all back off. And you actually do the same thing with this part, which is actually the bottom. This is the part that sits on your stove. And then again on this part, and you wipe it all back off. So we'll go ahead and put the paddles back on the waffle iron. But I wanted to show you how I do it, because you have to do each piece one at a time. And I put these pieces face down. That's face down. That's face up. But you put them face down in the oven when you do it. And I put the base on the bottom. Now this is a low base. It was actually manufactured for use with this type of a range, or coiled range, or originally a wood stovetop. The high base, which actually comes up to about here, it's about 5-6 inches. It was manufactured for use with the gas range. But you have to season this too, because you don't want it to rust. And you want the paddles to turn smoothly in the base, which is what it's used for. So that's how you do it. So you go ahead and coat everything, top and bottom, nook and cranny. Take it all off with either the Q-tips on this part of the waffle iron, and your rag with the rest of it, just like so. Put it back in the oven for 300 degrees for 15 minutes. Once your timer goes off, pull it back out. Wipe off any excess that may have pooled. Like that is actually a little bit of pitting, but it could pool, so you want to smooth it all out. And make sure it's even. And then put it back in your oven. Set your oven temperature for 450 degrees and your timer for 1 hour and 5 minutes. It'll take 5 minutes for it to warm up from 300 to 450 degrees. Once it warms up, you have an hour left that's going to bake the seasoning on to these pieces. And it's going to be nice and dry. It's going to get dark. It's not sticky. It looks fantastic to do it that way. And don't forget to vent. Turn on your vent when you do it. You don't want the smoke coming back in the house. It's going to smoke off. Some of this, it won't smoke off, but the wet part will smoke. That's what burns it onto the surface. And then, then you're good to go with that round of seasoning. So sorry guys, I couldn't show you me actually doing it. The camera or the computer malfunctioned. I just been having a heck of a time today with all kinds of things, but I wanted to at least show these pieces. 4 rounds of seasoning on that one. This one with the first round of seasoning, the Wagner number 8. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Give me a thumb up if you want to see more videos like this. I do thank you guys for watching, and go make it a great rest of your day.